Hello, welcome to this update. So let's see what's happening today. We have a lot of heat building in parts of the south and the central areas, and lots of storms and some severe weather in other areas too. So let's see. We have two areas of slight risk for today, one from Nebraska to North Dakota and another one in Illinois, Kentucky and Indiana. So let's see, and we have this marginal from Georgia to North Dakota and another small marginal in parts of southern Pennsylvania, New Jersey and Maryland and parts of Delaware. So let's see. The wind threat is 15% in that slight risk in Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky, 5% in parts of the Mid-Atlantic, 5% from Georgia to North Dakota, and 15% from Nebraska to North Dakota, with a hatched area, potentially hurricane force winds. So let's see. The hail outlook is also hatched there for potential 2-inch or larger hail, and that 15% in the slight risk from Nebraska to North Dakota, and 5% from Nebraska to Iowa, Minnesota, North and South Dakota. Also 5% from Illinois to Kentucky, and a 5% hail also in the Mid-Atlantic. So let's see the tornado. They now added a 5% tornado threat in Illinois and southern Indiana, and a 2% in Illinois, southwestern Ohio, most of Indiana, Kentucky, and northern Tennessee, and also 2% from parts of Nebraska to North Dakota, 2%. So be aware in those areas, especially in the 5%. So let's see. Scattered strong to severe storms are expected across parts of the central northern plains this afternoon and this evening, and also across parts of the Midwest and lower Ohio Valley. So be aware for today. So let's see here. We have that nasty line of storms there in Illinois now, and then it will keep going. Some remnant storms going to Wisconsin, maybe some rain in Chicago, and the other storms go south into Indiana and into Kentucky, but it will be mainly like this afternoon. So you can see we have that line of storms now, but then it dissipates. But then about this afternoon, especially this evening, we will start getting more of those storms in Indiana, and this will be like very late, like Tuesday, about 6 or 7 p.m. this evening. So, and then those storms keep going through tonight, like 4Z Tuesday, I think it's 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. So the storms will keep going through the night into Kentucky and into Tennessee there, and maybe some storms in West Virginia and Michigan too. So, and even a storm or two in South Carolina tonight, maybe this afternoon in North Carolina, in parts of South Carolina, maybe a storm or two this afternoon. Maybe in Florida, some storms, especially southern Florida this afternoon. And let's see, some more monsoon showers there, maybe a storm or two in New Mexico, Arizona. The rain in the Pacific Northwest there, in Oregon, and going to Idaho, Montana, and Washington especially, some more rain showers. And in the plains there, that other area of slight risk, who will start getting the storms this afternoon, like very late this afternoon, especially this evening, and then showing stronger in North Dakota there, going later into Minnesota through the night, but shows some stronger ones in Nebraska, South Dakota, a stronger one or two this afternoon, and especially in North Dakota there, going to Minnesota. So, and for tomorrow, it shows more storms in the south, firing tomorrow there, and also in southern Illinois and Kentucky, possible tomorrow. And let's see, shows more storms through Michigan, southern Ontario, Pennsylvania, New York, lots of storms there in those areas possible tomorrow. And in the plains, tomorrow shows maybe more storms in North Dakota and Iowa, South Dakota, Manitoba, some more storms there too. So let's see the outlook for tomorrow. They have another slight risk from Iowa to Illinois and northeastern Missouri tomorrow, and a marginal risk, like a very wide one, from North Dakota to South Carolina. So the wind threat is 15% with this in the slight risk and 5% in the marginal. The hail threat is a smaller 5% there, and the tornado threat is a 2% in southern Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Iowa, northeastern Missouri. So yeah, be aware. And a general risk of thunderstorms throughout many other areas. Scared to strong severe thunderstorms were possible across a broad region from the northern plains to Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Carolinas. More concentrated severe weather threat is possible across portions of the Corn Belt. So be aware there. And day 3 for Wednesday, so day 3 is Wednesday, I think, yes. So there's a slight risk for Wednesday from parts of northwestern Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, and eastern South Dakota and northeastern Nebraska, and a marginal risk from Pennsylvania to North Dakota, into parts of Kansas and the Midwest too. So probabilistic, 5 and 15% probabilistic, and the general risk of thunderstorms in the other areas. Scarce strong severe storms are possible across in parts of the plains from the southern Great Lakes and the Appalachians to portions of New England. So be aware for Wednesday. Let's see for Thursday. There's nothing. Yes, so this is mainly it. Let's see the fire threat. So it's 3 areas of elevated today in Montana, southeastern Oregon, southern Idaho, southwestern Montana again, northern Nevada, southeastern Nevada, Utah, and northwestern Arizona. So be aware. And also in other areas with active fires. And tomorrow is just an isolated dry thunderstorm threat in Idaho and Montana. So yeah, let's see what else here. We have this map for today, tomorrow, and after tomorrow. Excessive rainfall is a slight risk today from parts of Illinois to Georgia, a marginal in Florida, a marginal from Florida to Michigan, and a marginal in Arizona and New Mexico. Day 2 for Tuesday, another marginal in southern Florida, a slight from Tennessee to Pennsylvania, a marginal from Minnesota to Georgia, and into parts of the Northeast too, and a marginal in Arizona, New Mexico. For Wednesday, another slight from South Dakota to Indiana, a marginal in the Northeast, marginal from North Carolina to North Dakota, and a marginal in Arizona, New Mexico. For Thursday, a marginal from Arizona, New Mexico, and southern Colorado, and a marginal in parts of New England, and a marginal from parts of West Virginia to Wisconsin, and those other areas. For Friday, a marginal in Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and a marginal from North Carolina to Vermont. So be aware. Precipitation for today, mainly in those areas with the storms there, but also in Florida and the Northeast, parts of the Pacific Northwest, more in Washington, more in the plains from the storms, and in Arizona, New Mexico. Let's see, day 2, Tuesday, more in parts of the north and west, more in the east, especially Pennsylvania and the northeast, going to Canada, more in the southwest, Florida. Day 3, Wednesday, more in the Midwest, like upper Midwest, more in the northeast, parts of those Ohio Valley, and through the south and some in the southwest. For Thursday, more in the southwest, some showers in the plains, but nothing big. More Michigan, parts of the Ohio Valley and Midwest, and more in Florida, some, and the northeast going to Atlantic Canada. Day 5, Friday, more the southwest in the east and southeast. Saturday, more in the southeast, in parts of the east and northeast in Canada, more in the south and southwest, and some showers in other areas. And day 7, Sunday, more in Florida, parts of the east, Atlantic Canada, the plains, and parts of the southwest and Rockies in Mexico. So be aware. Day 1 through 7 show some hot spots in those areas there, like near the Appalachians or Ohio Valley, parts of the Midwest, Northeast Canada, Florida, Southwest Mexico, some more areas. So this is mainly it. Let's see what's happening. We have that low pressure in the northeast there, bringing some showers and some storms in the front in the Atlantic, and that low pressure in the Midwest, bringing those storms there today and everything. And let's see what else. So it's still some major areas of heat risk throughout the southern plains and some areas of the south today, some areas of moderate. Tomorrow, more majors throughout the plains, the central areas in the south, and more moderates, and extremes, some extremes in New Mexico, Texas Panhandle, and Kansas and Oklahoma. Wednesday, more majors throughout many areas, and more extremes in New Mexico, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, southern Illinois, and Mississippi. So please be careful in those majors, and especially the extreme heat risk areas. Some more moderates and slides there, and some majors in Florida too. Thursday, more extremes in Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, more in Texas, New Mexico, some more majors in the west, some moderates, more moderates in the northeast, some majors, and more extremes in southern Indiana and Illinois. Friday, more extremes in Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana, so please be careful. Some extremes in Florida, Georgia too. So a bunch of majors, heat risk, majors there, more majors throughout the west, even some extremes. And be aware, Saturday shows some majors and moderates throughout the south, some extremes there still, so please be careful. And more majors and extremes start building the west. Sunday shows still an extreme or two and some majors in the west there, more majors and extremes in parts of California and Arizona and Nevada, New Mexico some, but mainly Arizona. New Mexico is light. More majors throughout the south, some extremes, and some moderates in the northeast. So let's see here what else. We still got some heavy rain hazards in the green, and excessive heat hazard in the brown, and some flood hazards in the pink. But this is the day 3 through 7. Day 8 through 14 has more above normal temperatures, excessive heat, and some heavy precipitation and high wind probabilities in the south. So excessive heat, rapid onset drought, and they have here too some high winds and precipitation. So let's see what happened in this map. Wait, here, sorry, let's see. Here's some risk of heavy precipitation. Let's see, some risk of high winds throughout much of the west there, day 8 through 14, rapid onset drought, let's excessive heat. So, and even I think that brownish area in the southeast is like a slide for high winds too. So yeah, be aware. So the heat for today is some 100s in the plains and some 90s in parts of Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, more 100s in the southwest. Let's see. For Tuesday, wait, it's like this, and Northway 108 in Kansas, more 90s throughout the northern plains, 90s in the Midwest, some 80s, some 90s in the South, 100s in the Southwest, 100s in the Plains. Let's see, be careful. Wednesday, and let's see. Wednesday still some 100s in the Plains, lots of 90s in Central South areas, 100s in the Southwest, some 80s, some 90s throughout areas of the West. For Thursday, more 90s in some areas there, some 100s in the Plains, more 90s in the East and the South, some 100 in Tennessee, some 90s there, more 90s in the West, some 100s in California, Nevada and Oregon, and Arizona, New Mexico. For Friday, let's see, more 90s in the North, lots of 100s in the West, more 100s in the Plains, 90s in the East and Southeast. Now for Saturday, let's see, more 100s in the West, 90s and 100s in the Plains, some 90s further north, 90s in the Southeast. And finally for Sunday, let's see, shows more 90s in the Plains, some areas of 100 too, more 100 in the Southwest, some 100s there in Oregon, Washington, some in Utah too, some 90s and 100, some 90s in the Southeast. So yeah, and the max wind gusts probabilities for today valid until Tuesday at 9 a.m. So some higher gusts possible in Wyoming, Montana and Idaho, a little bit windier throughout other areas of the West, some areas of California too, and some areas of the plains, some high winds. And this is just wind gusts by themselves, so not considering the severe weather. Of course, there'll be much higher winds within those thunderstorms in the severe weather. So let's see here for Canada now. So we have a lot of alerts there, especially for heat still in parts of Ontario. So 29 to 33 degrees in parts of Ontario. Another heat warning there. Some special heat wave statements for parts of Quebec. So a hot and humid air mass is currently affecting the area, and humidity and index values of 35 to 39 expected this in the afternoon, today and Tuesday. So nights will remain warm with lows of 18 degrees or higher. So yeah, be aware, very hot and humid there. Some special weather statements too for heat wave, hot and humid air mass, southern Quebec. New Brunswick, another heat warning for very warm and humid weather is occurring today. Be aware there. So even in Labrador and Newfoundland, some heat warnings, 28 to 32 degrees. And in Newfoundland there, more heat warnings. Let's see, another heat warning. So yeah, be aware. In the West, it's mainly some air quality statements for the wildfires, and more air quality statements northern Alberta, Northwestern Territories, some heat warnings still in southern Alberta, for some 29 to 32 degrees possible, and it will moderate slightly on Tuesday. Let's see, some air quality statements too in southern British Columbia, an air quality advisory there, parts of Alberta and British Columbia. So yeah, this is currently it. And let's see some forecasts. So we have that rain in parts of British Columbia and Alberta there because of that system also bringing some rain to the Pacific Northwest in the U.S. So that rain will continue there through British Columbia and Alberta. And let's see, let's put another model a little bit more high resolution. So it shows the rain there in British Columbia and Alberta, and by this evening it shows more rain in parts of Northwestern Territory, especially Alberta. We can have some storms there So I would put a general risk of thunderstorms throughout those areas there, and maybe a severe possible, but I don't think those storms will be strong enough. But later this evening shows some stronger storms there, parts of Alberta, I think, and more showers throughout southern British Columbia, and there can be a storm or two there. So let's see precipitation for today. So this is for today. More rain in parts of British Columbia, more in Alberta, parts of Northwestern Territories, and some more rain in other areas. And finally, Vancouver is getting some rain because it has been so dry there. So let's see some other areas, maybe Central Canada. So we still have that system spinning in Quebec there, but like Central Canada, maybe a storm or two this afternoon in Ontario there, and it shows it really cranking by this evening. There's some stronger storms this evening in like eastern Ontario, and then it shows those storms there from Saskatchewan and Alberta there, from that other system, and shows maybe a storm or two in Manitoba, but it shows mainly in Ontario there, some storms maybe this evening and afternoon. So let's see. And then by tomorrow it keeps that low pressure going north into Quebec. It shows a lot of storms tomorrow throughout Quebec and Ontario there, and some more storms back in Manitoba. So we gotta watch tomorrow too. And by Wednesday the 31st, potentially shows some more storms in Manitoba and Ontario, especially Wednesday afternoon shows some stronger storms there. And by Thursday shows another system going to Hudson Bay there, and maybe some more storms in other areas. So let's see. Now Eastern Canada, we still have that system in Quebec there, bringing lots of rain and some storms. So we will probably have a general risk of thunderstorms throughout most of central northern Quebec, and maybe a severe possible in those areas with those stronger storms there, like north central Quebec there. So those storms could continue today and then leave the coast in Labrador. So some more rain in Labrador later, it's showing here, and maybe some leftover storms in the east coast there. But tomorrow that other system comes, brings more storms there, more storms in southern Quebec too, and New Brunswick, and then they keep going tomorrow. Some more in Atlantic Canada by Wednesday the 31st, some other showers and storms, and by Wednesday evening shows lots of showers and storms there as that other front leaves into the Atlantic there, and later we might have more stuff. So yeah, this is mainly it. Let's see what else we can have. So let's see. The HER here is showing, so today's Monday the 29th, so we can also see southern Canada here. So the HER is also showing those storms in Ontario this afternoon there, so be aware. And then by this evening they keep going in Ontario there, all the way tomorrow there because of that low pressure. So be aware. I expect they to put a general risk of thunderstorms throughout many areas of Ontario and Quebec, and maybe a severe possible, like some severe storms possible in parts of central Ontario there because of those storms this afternoon. So be aware there. Some gusty winds, heavy rain, maybe some hail, but you never know. There can be other hazards too. So tomorrow those showers and storms keep going to Quebec there, maybe some more storms in Manitoba and Ontario by Tuesday there. So those showers in the west there, and so be aware this afternoon and evening. So let's see some just some temperatures very quick. Shows today Monday in the high 20s and 30s, especially southern Saskatchewan, some 30s, some high 20s for the north there. Let's see some high 20s in Manitoba, but Quebec is really hotter, very high in the 20s, and in Ontario there, like even 30. Let's see some 30s further south in southern Ontario, and many 20s. New Brunswick into the 28, 29. Let's see, some 20s and 30s there too. In Labrador, some high 20s. Newfoundland, some 20s. And shows in Nova Scotia, some 20s there. So yeah, let's see. A little bit cooler in Western Canada, into the teens and low 20s. And shows a little bit cooler in the northwest too. And yeah, this is mainly it. Thanks for watching.